Imagine waking up in a beautiful Roman city, surrounded by busy streets, crowded markets, temples, shops, and thousands of people. The sun is shining, businesses are open, and life seems completely normal. But before the day ends, this entire city will disappear beneath millions of tons of ash and volcanic debris. This is the story of Pompeii, one of the most remarkable and haunting archaeological discoveries in human history. Almost 2,000 years ago, Pompeii was a thriving Roman city located near Mount Vesuvius in what is now Italy. It was a busy and prosperous place, filled with homes, bakeries, restaurants, public baths, temples, gardens, and impressive villas. People lived ordinary lives there. They worked, traded goods, raised families, visited friends, and went about their daily routines. But beside the city stood a massive mountain that most people believed was simply part of the landscape. They did not know that Mount Vesuvius was an active volcano. In the year 79 AD, the ground began to shake. Earthquakes were not completely unusual in the region, so many people may not have realized what was happening. Then, suddenly, Mount Vesuvius erupted. A massive column of ash, smoke, and volcanic gases exploded high into the sky. From miles away, the eruption must have looked like an enormous dark cloud rising above the mountain. Soon, ash and small pieces of volcanic rock began falling over Pompeii. At first, some residents may have believed the eruption would soon stop, but the ash continued to fall. Streets began disappearing beneath the debris. Roofs became dangerously heavy and started collapsing. The city was slowly being buried. Then the situation became even more terrifying. Huge clouds of extremely hot gas, ash, and volcanic material rushed down the slopes of Mount Vesuvius at incredible speed. These deadly surges were so hot and powerful that people caught in their path had almost no chance of survival. Within hours, Pompeii was buried. A city that had been full of life became silent beneath layers of volcanic material. Homes disappeared, streets vanished, temples and shops were sealed underground. Thousands of people lost their lives, and the world they knew was completely destroyed. But something extraordinary happened. Because Pompeii was buried so quickly, many parts of the city were preserved. For centuries, the city remained hidden beneath the ground. Nature covered the ruins, and over time, people forgot exactly where the ancient city had been. Then, centuries later, excavations began. Archaeologists slowly uncovered something incredible. An entire Roman city frozen in time. They discovered ancient streets, houses, bakeries, temples, shops, gardens, and beautiful paintings still covering the walls. They found cooking tools, coins, jewelry, furniture, and even food that had been preserved by the volcanic ash. Pompeii became one of the most valuable archaeological discoveries in history because it revealed something that most ancient ruins cannot: the daily lives of ordinary people. Many ancient historical records focus on emperors, kings, generals, and wealthy leaders. But Pompeii preserved the world of everyday Romans. Archaeologists discovered evidence of what people ate, how they worked, what they bought, how they decorated their homes, and even what they wrote on walls. Some of the walls contained ancient graffiti. People wrote political messages, personal comments, jokes, and even advertisements. These small details made Pompeii feel strangely familiar. Despite being nearly 2,000 years old, the city revealed that people in the ancient world were not so different from us. They worked, they argued, they celebrated, they went shopping, they visited restaurants, they wrote messages, they lived ordinary lives. And then one day everything changed. Perhaps the most haunting discoveries at Pompeii were the remains of the victims. When people died during the eruption, their bodies were covered by layers of ash. Over time, the bodies decomposed, leaving empty spaces inside the hardened volcanic material. Archaeologists later discovered these spaces and filled them with plaster. The result was a series of casts showing the final positions of some of the victims. These casts created an incredibly powerful connection to the past. They showed that Pompeii was not just a collection of ancient buildings. It was once a living city filled with real people who had families, dreams, jobs, and futures. The eruption also affected nearby settlements, including the ancient city of Herculaneum. While Pompeii was mainly buried under ash and volcanic debris, Herculaneum was overwhelmed by extremely hot volcanic material. Both cities became time capsules of the ancient world. But why did the people of Pompeii not escape? The answer is complicated. The eruption was sudden. There were no modern warning systems, no emergency broadcasts, and no scientific understanding of volcanic eruptions. Many residents may not have realized the scale of the disaster until it was too late. Some people may have tried to flee immediately. Others may have remained inside their homes, believing the eruption would end. Some may have been trapped by collapsing buildings or blocked roads. The city had no way to know how dangerous the volcano truly was. Today, scientists understand much more about Mount Vesuvius. They monitor earthquakes, volcanic gases, ground movement, and other warning signs. But the volcano is still active. Millions of people live in the surrounding region today, making Vesuvius one of the most closely watched volcanoes in the world. The story of Pompeii is therefore not only a story about the ancient Roman Empire, it is also a reminder of the incredible power of nature. In just a few hours, a prosperous city was destroyed. But strangely, the same disaster that killed Pompeii also preserved it. If the city had simply been abandoned, its buildings might have collapsed or been destroyed over time. Instead, the volcanic eruption sealed the city beneath the earth, protecting many of its secrets for nearly 2,000 years. Today, archaeologists continue to uncover new parts of Pompeii. Every excavation reveals more clues about the people who lived there. A new building, painting, tool, or inscription can tell researchers something about the ancient world, and much of the city still remains hidden. That means Pompeii may still have more secrets waiting beneath the ground. The city reminds us that history is not always found in grand monuments or royal palaces. Sometimes the most powerful stories are hidden in ordinary homes, ancient shops, abandoned streets, and the objects people left behind. The people of Pompeii never knew that their final day would become one of the most studied moments in ancient history. They could not have imagined that future generations would walk through their streets. They could not have known that their homes, paintings, and everyday objects would help historians understand how Romans truly lived. But beneath the ash, their world survived. And when archaeologists began uncovering the city, Pompeii began to speak again. Almost 2,000 years ago, Mount Vesuvius erased an entire civilization from the surface of the earth. But it could not completely erase its story. Pompeii was buried, it was forgotten. And then, centuries later, it was discovered again. Today, its ruins stand as a powerful reminder that even the greatest cities can disappear in a single day, and that sometimes the most devastating disasters can preserve the past for future generations to discover. Because beneath the ash of Pompeii lies a story that still feels impossible to believe. A thriving city, a sleeping volcano, a sudden eruption, and one day that changed history forever.